Next we'll come into the grow tent. This space, we just set this up. We just got a bigger, I think this is 4-foot rack, and it's got a few different shelves. And then we have the white light full spectrum LEDs in here, but a bunch of peppers, some sweet bonnets, yellow monsters, tons of different bell pepper varieties in here just for snacking, and then fresh cooking, artichokes, thyme, more thyme, some chard. All of these need to be watered really badly. Texas early grano onions, more Texas early grano, Cabernet. These are long day and these are short day onions. So a little bit of both. More peppers, shouldn't be surprising at this point. Sweet bonnets, cayenne, and some dough hills. These are mini bell peppers, perfect for snacking, perfect for toddlers. The novelty is so real. And all of these are alpine strawberries. Most of them are potted up. Some of these smaller ones I have to separate and pot up still. But one of them had a little bloom and I decided to let it go. I've got a bunch, so it's not the biggest deal right now. But we'll see if anything happens. Pretended to be the bee and pollinated it, so just a cool little thing, and that'd be fun to have a strawberry indoors. More mini bells. So again, great for toddlers. These should be red, yellow, and green, whereas the Dough Hill mini peppers are just orange. Some poblanos, sugar rush peppers. Let me take you down here. Down here, we've got some more eggplants. These are choryoku. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. More dino kale, dino kale, dino kale. Chard, this should be flamingo chard or cardinal chard. And then these are flamingo shards in the back. So these are cardinal shards, flamingo shards. Another dino kale, because we love kale in this house. Over here, some violas, pansies. These will hopefully go out maybe in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Really cold, hardy flowers. Over here, more sugar rush peppers, and then a ton of eggplants. So mixed fingers, Rosa Bianca, more mixed fingers, more Rosa Bianca. And then this little glue trap has been catching all of these fungus gnats. There are some other remedies that you can do too, like putting cinnamon on your soil. I don't do that personally. I find that these work pretty well. But that is it for the grow tent. I need to water these like right now. Brief intermission. So now I'm bringing you into the other seed starting area that we have. This is inside a spare bathroom. Like there's a shower head here. It's kind of wonky. So we're trying to transition everything to our grow tent area. Show you what we got going on. So some habaneras. Germination rate was absolutely excellent. It was 100% on the habaneras. Still need to separate these. I'm kind of using this whole seed starting rack as a nursery, if you will, for other tasks. So I still need to pot all of these up. Jalapenos, I bought a new seed pack. Tried to use the pack from a few years ago. Absolutely zero germinated, so gonna have to restart. But once those all pop up, I'm gonna pot up this entire tray. Black Hungarian peppers back here. It was a 50% germination. I don't know what's going on. Usually I have pretty good luck with the company that sells these seeds, but those just weren't great. So I reseeded some, and then once I see them pop up, I'll pot them up. Back here with the lovely shower bar, there's Corno di Toro peppers, Padron, and more mini bell peppers for snacking. Come over here, and this is kind of on an angle because I bought these trays from, I think it was Lowe's a few years ago. They're finally starting to crack, but I really don't want to waste the plastic. So there are cracks on this side. So I just did like a little incline so the water drains more that way and it doesn't drip onto the light fixtures below. Totally putting a Band-Aid over a bleeding wound here. So I might flex seal the bottom, but TBD. So we've got onions here. These are Cabernet onions, Texas early grano, and red Welsh. And then there are some leeks in the back as well. but I over sowed these containers, and then we'll separate them when we go to plant. Onions and leeks you can do this with, and that method works pretty well. Down here I am using some of these old little 10-20 trays that have broken, so you can tell right here this one's cracked. I don't want to use it anymore, but it makes a great base for getting my other trays up closer to the light. But in here we've got sweet pickles, more sweet pickles, and then just a bunch of paprikas in the back. Tons of paprikas. So we'll use those for spices, for chilies, and then maybe hot sauces too. Here again, using a busted old 10-20 tray just to kind of bump everything up and get it closer to the light so things don't start to reach or get leggy. But I've got the Bootstrap Farmer tray here, and on top, there's some Chinese pink celery. Those all need to be separated and thinned. Some huckleberries that just popped up, and I just put them under light today. So they're a little leggy, but we'll take care of that at transplant time. Some tall Utah celery. And then let's come over here. There's more Corno di Toros. Some candy cane peppers back there that I had saved seed from. Not totally sure how those are gonna turn out because candy cane peppers are hybrids to begin with. And I'm not sure that these seeds will be true to the parent since it's a hybrid. And then some Coyote Zan whites and elephant peppers as well. Then in the greenhouse, we have a few things going on, but before I talk about everything here, I just want to show you this tiny little space here we're working with. It's an old one from my old office. Nothing super fancy, just a little space heater, and it totally works. We only turn it on overnight when it gets really cold, usually in the low 20s outside, but that's when our greenhouse gets pretty chilly and we want to protect all of this citrus we've got in here too. So let me go back to the seeds and show you what we got. We've got a garden blend kale, and all of these on the top sprouted inside the greenhouse. Some Mizuna, spinach, multi-sown beets, and strawberry spinach, nothing yet. Down here, let me turn it. Some Carolina mustard greens. These are a must-have in the garden here. They pretty much last all summer long. Some Scarlet Kale, first one popping up. These were started the other day. Crawford Bibb lettuces, some other lettuces, black-seeded Simpson, pomegranate crunch. Those were started 2 days ago, so nothing yet. Marrow stem kale, old-timey blue collards. These are supposed to be really pretty in blue and purple. And then some space spinach, which is apparently heat resistant, like very heat tolerant. So we'll see if we can get spinach to grow through summer. And then on this shelf down here, these are my brassicas that are kind of almost about ready to be hardened off. They're gonna be planted under cover, under some very warm covering. And then if not, in the next 2 weeks, I'll just pot them up in here in a big container. But I've got some broccoli, collards, calabrese broccoli, purple sprouting broccoli, Rob spring rapini right here. And then this is the collard green. A whole variety of kales, and these guys are ready to go out. They are pretty tall, but this was that same garden blend. So there's some marrow stem kale, dinosaur kale. Whoops. Oh gosh. Red Russian kale, that was almost bad. This is what I get for doing this one-handed. But just a whole bunch of kales. No kales were harmed in the making of this YouTube.